Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. Immigration officers here have been encouraged to use their knowledge of the law to protect the nation and promote the growth of a modern competitive economy. The encouragement comes as officers with the Passports and Immigration Department began a two-day border security workshop under the theme, Forging Ahead with Determination. The participants will be sensitized on topics relating to the role of tourism, customer service, protocol, profiling and screening, human trafficking, and the CARICOM single market and economy. Delivering the opening remarks at the workshop was Acting Chief Immigration Officer Beverly Walker, who said the Immigration Department has made some strides over the years, with the implementation of the electronic passport being one of the notable accomplishments. She encouraged the participants to use the knowledge to take the department forward.
This would further help to cement our practice of processing and issuing highly secured travel documents. As you carry out your duties at our 9 seaports, 5 airports, and at the head office, be always mindful that tourism is a vital sector which contributes to the growth of this country's economy. One of the topics during this workshop will focus on the role of immigration in tourism. This, we hope, will help to further highlight the importance of tourism to this beautiful country of ours. So perform your duties well and with prudence. I implore you to fully participate in all of the sessions. I am sure that the various facilitators would not hesitate in helping to fulfill your quest for knowledge.
Also delivering remarks was Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who said the Immigration Department plays an important role in preserving national security. Using some cricket analogies, the Prime Minister encouraged the immigration officers to continue to study the laws of the land to keep the nation safe.
An illegal delivery, and therefore he couldn't be out on it. Another person, not au fait with the rules, would have simply walked off, and that would have been the end of the story. So I draw something from cricket. You're playing test cricket, you have to know the rules. You have to read and reread the Immigration Restriction Act. You have to read and reread the regulations. You have to follow the laws which are passed. There are some people who are not paying significance to the laws which Parliament passing currently. Well, it is true that old law is like old wine. It's quite nice, but you have to change some old laws because they ain't fit with the new circumstance, and in this case, with regional integration.
The Prime Minister added that immigration officers are crucial to the creation of a post-colonial competitive economy with a direct impact on tourism, and encouraged the immigration officers to help build a competitive tourism industry.
We need for them to come because the taxi man has to make $1. The restaurants have to make the hotel rooms, and then the government needs the 11% on the restaurant and bar bill and the hotel because they get a preferred rate. You and I pay when we go to the supermarket, we pay 16%, 15 plus the 1% for the 1 percentage point for the disaster levy. But those monies, the VAT for those persons who come in, are helping to pay your salary, are helping me to buy the better equipment, to make sure the thing is better, even more. So it has to be, when you're doing this, you have to bear in mind that this directly connects to your well-being and the well-being of your families and the country.
Communication is an important part of any organization, and the RSVG Police Force is doing its part to sharpen the skill of the nation's policemen and women. Today, some 70 officers of the RSVG Police Force began a 2-day workshop at the Fisheries Conference Room under the theme, New Perspectives Towards Greater Relations, Reinforcing Effective Communications as a Force for Change. The workshop is being facilitated by veteran media practitioner and former manager of the National Broadcasting Corporation NBC Radio 705, Carlita Oliver, and Inspector of Police Hawkins Nanton. Addressing the opening ceremony, Commissioner of Police Colin John said it is important for the police to be able to effectively communicate with members of the public, including the media.
This workshop is very important. It came out of a discussion at the senior officers meeting, an initiative by SP Simmons, and I just want to take this time to thank him and applaud him for his suggestion. He made the suggestion, we discussed it, and we ran with the idea. We are seeing today the fruit of that discussion. It is important, it is vital that police officers enhance the skills in communicating with members of the public. We can be called upon at any time to interact with the public. We may be at a crime scene and someone from the media come and want to interview us. We have to be able to respond to those interviews in an efficient and effective manner.
He said the workshop will also sensitize policemen and women on the importance of striking a balance between disseminating information and preserving national security.
When interacting with the media, we have to know what to say, when to say what we say, how to say what we say, and how much to say. We have to balance the two issues of national security and the issue of giving the public certain information. So it's a balancing, you have to get the right balance. Giving too much information in an untimely manner can lead to destruction of evidence. It can lead to giving undue alarm to the public. So while we interact with the media, we have to know, as I said before, when to say, what we say.
The police commissioner said the participants will also learn more on topics such as stereotyping and prejudices in communication.
Another topic down for discussion is prejudice and stereotype. Not too long ago, the Rastas were being stereotyped. Everyone with a locks was regarded as a criminal. We have moved away from that stereotype. Another stereotype was homosexuals and gay persons. We are moving away from those stereotypes. So we have to, as police officers, treat everyone with respect. As they say in law, you have to take your victim as you find them. As police officers, we have to have an open mind to everyone. Though we may not encourage and promote certain views or certain lifestyle by persons, we have to at least be tolerant of their opinion and their lifestyles. So hence, we have to, as far as possible, try to prevent those prejudices and stereotypes.
A call has been made for the public to play a role in preserving the innocence of the nation's children. The call came from head of the Sexual Offences Unit of the RSVG Police Force, Station Sergeant Desiree Days, during a recent interview with SVG-TV News. Station Sergeant Days said while the unit has been successful in making a number of arrests and working with victims of sexual crimes, it is important for the public to play a role in protecting children against all forms of abuse.
I believe that every child has a right to their innocence and every child has a right to their childhood. So I am appealing to the general public. You have a moral obligations to report matters of sexual abuse against children. Even if it is not your own child, you have a moral obligation to report these matters, and these matters will be investigated by the unit. I would also like to appeal to the men of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to think twice. Let the young children have their childhood. Let them have their innocence. The consent age for sexual intercourse in our country by law is age 15. So even if there is a 14-year-old girl and she's mature and she says yes to you, she cannot consent to sexual intercourse. And there is this stigma that no sometimes means yes, and we need to stamp that out. No can only mean no.
The police station sergeant said while the unit is comprised of individuals with a wealth of knowledge and experience in dealing with sexual offences, ongoing training is important.
Very soon we have a number of training programs, both locally and also overseas, which would be conducted for the members of the sexual offences unit, and that would only get to enhance our investigative skills, so we can see probably 5, 6, 10 years down the road a more effective unit, a more efficient unit, matters more conviction, a higher conviction rate within the courts.
Queen Counsel Parnell Campbell has made it clear that he does not support the proposed policy change of the opposition New Democratic Party to switch diplomatic ties from the Republic of Taiwan to China if elected into office, and appeals to the party to rethink its decision. Addressing the matter on his Law and You television program on SVG-TV last evening, Campbell, who served as Attorney General under the then NDP administration, said that he profoundly disagrees with the party's position announced in 2016.
Now, the main reason why I disagree with the NDP's change of policy is simply this. The NDP started life as a profoundly democratic parliament, a democratic party in parliament, the New Democratic Party. And after years of recognizing a democratic Taiwan, the party has announced its intention to break that off and to support an undemocratic mainland China. That is the first anomaly.
Campbell said though Taiwan is not perfect, it is more of a democratic country than China.
Now, the People's Republic of China has made enormous strides internationally, militarily, economically, yes. But those strides have been at the expense of a particular kind of government. China is by no means a democratic country. And those of us who could remember the brutal mowing down of students in Tiananmen Square when they rose up in protest some years ago would be left in no doubt as to the kind of political system which China has. Now, most countries in the world, and particularly at the United Nations, recognize the People's Republic of China. I am not gainsaying that. And in the Caribbean, most Caribbean countries recognize the People's Republic of China. I know that. I also know how come some of them came to recognize China, but that's another story.
The Queen Counsel said though Taiwan is not known to the rest of the world like China, Taiwan has been a very good friend to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for years and has assisted the country in tangible ways which must not be forgotten.
Grenadines have never had any quarrel with Taiwan. over any matter as far as I know. So it's not to say that Taiwan did something which caused us to have to rethink our relationship and cause us to threaten to break off diplomatic relations with them. The people have done us nothing. And if we are going to develop a reputation of a country which abandons its friends for no reason, then to me, it speaks of an ungrateful mentality. And goes against all that has been said by both government and opposition in St. Vincent and the Grenadines over the years. About the special relationship between SVG and Taiwan. So that when the opposition came out with the announcement that if they win the next elections, they are going to switch from Taiwan to Communist China, mainland China, the People's Republic of China, I was astonished.
SVG has maintained unbroken diplomatic ties with Taiwan since 1981, even as several other Caribbean countries, including Dominica and Grenada, have switched ties to China. Patricia Stowe, a ranger from the number 23 Ranger Guides unit of the SVG Girl Guides Association, won the B High Commissioner for a Day competition organized by the High Commission of Canada to the OACS and Barbados. Stowe, along with her other colleagues from the number 23 Ranger Guides unit, entered the competition to represent SVG and to advocate for championing the rights of women and girls. For this year's competition, the High Commission of Canada extended the invitation to young persons between the ages of 16 and 19 years from Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Grenada, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The participants were required to submit a video sharing their ideas on how they can become champions for women's rights in the region. In her video, Patricia expressed that to become a champion for women's rights, she would use education as a tool to reach young persons in primary and secondary schools and also partner with women and men, artists and artists to teach persons about the rights of women, as well as to become a champion like the civil and women rights activist Sojourner Truth. The videos for the competition will be posted on the High Commission of Canada's Facebook page for International Women's Day, which will be celebrated this Friday, March 8th, with the theme Balance for Better. A human fetus was discovered in a drain in the South Leeward community of Penistone. As we hear in this report from Larissa Pugsley-Kidd, residents lamented about the inhumane act that took place in their community.
The discovery of the human fetus lying in a drain among some leaves was made around 9 a.m. this morning by a resident of the Penistone community. The umbilical cord was still attached to the fetus and appeared to be swollen. Several residents who had a glimpse of the fetus before a medical doctor and the police arrived on the scene said that it appeared to be a little boy and expressed their disgust and hurt to know that such an act could be committed in their community.
We live in the community around here, and it really shame and disgrace. Because first thing, you know, if you have born a baby and give away. But that show me real shame and disgrace in the village. Yeah, real shame and disgrace.
Tell the young girl them come and own them picnic. That way me have to tell you. Tell them come and own them picnic. They're wicked.
I think that is wickedness. I don't know who do it. I cannot say who do it, but it's wickedness.
It's a sad tragedy, you know, for the community. It's really sad.
The fetus was removed from the scene by a private funeral home. The police are investigating the matter. Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Meanwhile, in the neighboring community of Otley Hall, a young man was shot and subsequently died at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Family members are seeking answers from the police who allegedly shot the young man. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd tells us more in this report.
The Brown family was thrown into mourning following the shooting of Alwyn Brown in this building here behind me in Otley Hall.
Brown, a 19-year-old from the community, was reportedly with another young man in the house when the police arrived around 10 a.m., after which gunshots reportedly rang out. Residents say they do not know what transpired except for hearing the gunshots. The other occupant of the house was taken into custody. Some relatives of the deceased, including his mother, showed up in front of the Otley Hall police station seeking answers.
Let that they go inside the house up there. I don't know the details because you won't get any exact details. So we went up ICID to get information because we did not show at the time. So they said they're investigating still, which police is still on the scene. And when they finish, they will give us a report. Then they will call somebody to identify the body. So we just come over here. Because at the time, we couldn't really confirm that it was. He's my nephew. It's my sister or son. And we lost my niece 7 years ago. Someone had shot her in her head up there. So this is a very painful one for my sister because this is 2 children she losing by gunshot.
Sister of the deceased said her brother did not deserve such a death.
This morning I come here and I get to know, well, them now kill my brother up there. My brother never most wanted, I never see the picture of my brother and say my brother most wanted. And they shoot him and they kill him. So I don't understand where is that.
Brown leaves to mourn 7 other siblings.
Reporting for SVG-TV News from Otley Hall, I am Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
A news release issued by the police on the incident states that a search warrant was executed for Brown, known as Bunny. The police say when approached, he shot at the police who returned fire, injuring him. Brown was taken to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital where he died. The police say while shooting a suspect is the last resort, the law gives police officers the authority to use the necessary force to apprehend the suspect, and the lives of the police on the scene were in danger, and they therefore used the necessary force at the time to de-escalate the situation.